Well, here we have the 75. Nowhere near like anybody has last seen it. Going salt. Going to be a softy reef. Right now it's just set up with tap water in it. Got it fully plumbed with a partial bean animal overflow. Rio 2500 return pump, 1-inch drain, 3/4 returns, and a Jabo WP25 wave maker. As you can see, the system is not running right now. This would be the worst case scenario power outage. Got the controller for the wave maker there. See, got the siphon, overflow, 3/4 return. They're 1-inch bulkheads using a reducer right there. And then it goes down to the sump. I will have filter material here to act as a filter sock. Once I get my skimmer, it will go into this corner right here. Be using a SC Aquariums 302, which then goes over here. A lot of people probably ask me, why didn't you go with the triple baffle? Because I have a lot of space here. A triple baffle is not needed. At running height, the water line is right here in this chamber, which puts it at, I do believe it's 7 inches, which means I'll probably have to elevate my skimmer about 1 inch, which is easy enough. But any micro bubbles have lots of time to go from the drains and the skimmer and reach the surface. Before they reach this point, there will be nowhere near enough water pressure for them to get pulled down below this baffle. And then when the system is running, the water line on this side of the baffle is about here. I plan on putting about 20 pounds of rubble and some Chaeto into the open space here, which I will take some egg crate and put it here to prevent Chaeto from getting sucked under. I may also possibly put a little bit of rubble here just so the pod colonies have a better chance of being sucked into the return and up to the tank to feed the corals once that happens. Have ability to shut off all lines for maintenance need. I have two unions on each line here. These two here, that one there, and then on the way down, those are the two drains with direct disconnects here. Ability to turn off each individual return, and on the down tube where these two returns T, there's also another union. That sound you hear is a vent that runs right there. Every time I walk over here, it flexes the floor just enough to make that So I'll have to go in the crawl space, and I'll probably have to reinforce about there in the floor. Make sure it can handle the additional weight of about 40 pounds of sand and 100 pounds of live rock. Probably closer to 120 pounds. So I'm probably planning on about 100 pounds of live rock up here, plus whatever I put in the sump. But enough talk. I'll turn the system on here. Oh, and if you're curious, I'll show you what's in here in a second. Yeah, I'll kick the system on here. That Rio 2500 is rated at 720 gallons at 0 head height. At the current height of about 4 feet, it's about 520 gallons an hour. Through the elbows, I think I figured it out at like 501 gallons an hour in a 75 gallon tank. So about 5 times turnover, a little over. Whereas that turnover rate itself isn't a huge factor, as with the quantity of live rock I plan. As it slowly creeps up to the overflow box here that I made. Currently the sump is a little loud since there's no filter sock, and about a 2-inch drop from the full siphon tube to the water surface in the sump here, which you can see a little bit of drop there. But even with that, it doesn't create enough bubbles to even escape the egg crate. And you see my water level with the running system is just underneath the trim. I do plan on getting some lock line for the returns, which when the power is out will keep the water level a little higher, as the lock line will come up towards the surface and then dip down just a little bit to keep circulation up. I have tested the system with the WP25 running full bore and also in Wave 1, which is the highest wave mode. Wave 1 Speed 1, which actually I can switch it to. Right now it's in random, and show you the wave effect that creates. Once it's moving here. The overflow disrupts it a small amount, but creates a nice wave movement. Now, as I said, it is a partial bean overflow. It doesn't have the emergency overflow, which usually you'll see the 3 standpipes. To counteract this, usually I'll run, usually what would be done is you run an air line from this air hole back into this tube. So if it comes to the point where this siphon gets clogged and this one starts to take on its full volume of water, it will actually airlock itself and create another full siphon to keep up. Alright, and as for, you see the outline of the wood frame there, that backer box, that's what this remote's for. That remote system there. And I have a backlighter. This is a RGB color change LED light system. I got it from LED wholesalers on Amazon for $32 for a 16-foot strip. for the full 16-foot strip, it equals about 0.13 watts per LED. So this by no means is for tank lighting of any purpose other than simply aesthetic backlighting. This is set to the minimum brightness though, and as you trim it to size, that affects your wattage per LED, as it's simply 36 watts going to the strip. So less LEDs, more power per LED. If I turn it all the way up here, you see it's actually decently bright. And then, obviously, I have the many presets. That's 20 preset colors: white, blue, green, red, a few different variances. You can have it fade through. For example, fade 3 is fade 3 different colors, fade 7 is 7 different colors. Jump doesn't just skips the whole fade effect, like so. There's jump 3, jump 7, more intermediate colors. Fade 3 fades up and down, full to no brightness before changing colors. Fade 7, instead of full up and down, it goes to about 50% and then cycles into the next color. Quick and slow, you can adjust your speed at which it fades. And then you have the DIY buttons, which allows you to change into a custom color that isn't selectable here and save that color. But for my purposes, I will most likely be running a single color. Oh, and there's the flash button. Hopefully nobody was epileptic that's watching my videos. You get, obviously, fade. And then auto will cycle through, an auto button there, will cycle through all these different options. But for now, we'll set it to blue. Turn the brightness all the way back down. That will most likely be my setting once I have the tank all together. That, or possibly even the white. White looks sort of nice. But I have plenty of options. I can have any color I want, at any brightness I want. So yeah, it's my little sneak peek. I was gonna wait until I had live rock and sand and all that jazz. I still need to get my skimmer. I still need lights. Obviously, I still need the live rock sand. I need everything to make the salt water. I need my roadie, I need salt, I need buckets to make the salt in. But yeah, it's a little sneak peek at what I've been up to for about the last 2 months between building the stand, which the stand still needs to get finished. I have to do the skinning around, which is going to be 1/4 inch birch. And I'll be using, cabinet magnets on the inside edges here to just be able to place it down there. Be front, side. I'm going to do a cabinet system here, and then I have a canopy I have to build for the top to contain the lights, as I really don't want to have to deal with a whole lot of evaporation, as well, that just drives up the cost of more salt and running a roadie and a lot of time. And prefer a stable as possible system for as long as possible. Evaporation means that your salt concentration's going up Well, I'll shut it off and you can see what happens if the power was to go out. Oh, if I can reach that far. There we go. You see the siphon suck up as much as it can. And then being I don't have the lock line yet, the return line slowly siphon down, but there's still plenty of room in the sump for everything that it takes out. Once I have the lock line, I'll try to get it so it doesn't siphon any more than about there, which is the top of the bulkheads, as you can see there. But yeah, there's a little sneak peek. It's just tap water in there. At the moment, I'll probably be draining it down just to relieve the stress on the floor until I can get it braced. Need my dad to come out and help me with that because I don't fit under the house. It's a very tight squeeze. He can barely fit in there, and he's a twig. So yeah, I get to be probably a little while before I get another update on this, but I figured I'd give you guys a little sneak.